well, but, Giannis had an incredible night, and so did Chris Middleton. Anthony Davis finished with 18 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists, but he did not make it to the free throw line at all during the game, and Frank Vogel voiced his unhappiness afterwards. He said, I think Anthony Davis getting 0 free throw attempts is a little bit mind-boggling, and it's something we've been communicating to the league about. The Bucks shot 24 free throws last night compared to 12 by the Lakers. Anthony Davis is 10th in free throw attempts per game this season. Giannis leads the league with 9.4.
Well, Anthony Davis
game.
doesn't want to be a 5. So when you're not willing to bang down low, you get fewer free throws. You have to create free throw opportunities. And Anthony would rather, despite his size, would rather be a little more of a... He likes to be away from the basket.
That also can affect how the referees look at you if they know that that's not what you're trying to do. So LeBron is hoping he can be back on Friday against the Celtics. He's reportedly 50-50, which means they just don't know yet, but they are looking to have him back soon.
Good stuff. Joy with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Lie News.
Our guy, Monday morning quarterback, Albert Breer.
Well, but, Giannis had an incredible night, and so did Chris Middleton. Anthony Davis finished with 18 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists, but he did not make it to the free throw line at all during the game, and Frank Vogel voiced his unhappiness afterwards. He said, I think Anthony Davis getting 0 free throw attempts is a little bit mind-boggling, and it's something we've been communicating to the league about. The Bucks shot 24 free throws last night compared to 12 by the Lakers. Anthony Davis is 10th in free throw attempts per game this season. Giannis leads the league with 9.4.
Well, Anthony Davis
game.
doesn't want to be a 5. So when you're not willing to bang down low, you get fewer free throws. You have to create free throw opportunities. And Anthony would rather, despite his size, would rather be a little more of a... He likes to be away from the basket.
That also can affect how the referees look at you if they know that that's not what you're trying to do. So LeBron is hoping he can be back on Friday against the Celtics. He's reportedly 50-50, which means they just don't know yet, but they are looking to have him back soon.
Good stuff. Joy with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Lie News.
Our guy, Monday morning quarterback, Albert Breer. It's not like that he's good. He's been exceptional. And now
they're Super Bowl contenders this year. They lost Derrick Henry and haven't missed a beat.
Not a beat. Not a beat.
Slightly frustrating. Well, someone who is very interesting is Cam Newton, and he made a splash in his first game back with the Panthers last week. 2 touchdowns and on his first 2 snaps against the Cardinals. And there's a good chance that we'll see more from him on Sunday. Matt Rule said that Cam is trending towards being the starter against Washington, but an official announcement won't be made until later this week. Rule also noted they will get both Cam and PJ Walker ready and didn't rule out both of them playing. And, of course, Cam would be starting against his former head coach in Ron Rivera. They're 3.5-point favorites, according to Fox Bet.
It is so NFL. Sometimes when you're good in business, it feels like you're getting lucky, but you're just well run. The NFL's got so many good storylines. I get Cam against his former coach this weekend. That would be a game that it wouldn't be that captivating. I'll have to watch.
You have to watch. And, of course, Cam coming in and playing the way he did after being out all season, back with his former team. You're right. Like, you couldn't even write this. None of us saw this coming, certainly not with Carolina. I thought he would be in the league somewhere because this situation that Carolina is dealing with happens every single year. But, yeah, it's interesting and exciting. Now, the Panthers are still in it, but they kind of have a rough schedule the rest of the way. Now, obviously, they have Washington this weekend, and they have the Dolphins and Falcons, but then they have the Bills, the Bucks twice, and the Saints. So
they're going to be
next 3 games.
They're in the running for a playoff.
It's going to get rough at the end of the season, though, so we'll see how it goes. But it is exciting, and I'm going to be watching. Not exciting. Seahawks offense struggling this season. They have had some things to overcome, obviously, Russell Wilson being out and Chris Carson being out for the last 5 games. But Pete Carroll is focused on turning things around and moving forward.
We need to settle everything down and get back to the ball that we liked earlier in the year, and when we thought we started to get things rolling. So, but it's been tumultuous in that regard. Those are just the situations he's had to deal with. It ain't been easy, and so I'm looking forward. We got 8 weeks to do something here and see where we wind up after that, and we need to make progress.
It's been really brutal for the Seahawks this year.
Well, I had somebody yesterday say, Colin, you're way too tough on Pete Carroll. And he said, listen, they won 12 games and they won 11 the year before. And I said, I'm not disputing Pete's going to be a Hall of Fame coach. That's not it. I said there's a weird power dynamic in the organization when Paul Allen left, and I think Pete's got too much power right now. By the way, I complained about Belichick. I said he's got too much power. Belichick gave some of his power away in the draft this year. That was written about, and the Patriots had a great draft. 3 of their 4 first picks are fantastic. A running back, a quarterback, and a defensive lineman. So I don't think Pete's a bad coach. I think there's a weird power dynamic since Paul Allen passed. His sister runs the organization. And I do think, and I've said this before, I think GM is a really hard job.
Right.
There's no way you can coach in GM.
Well, I mean, we saw this with the Texans with Bill O'Brien. It's too much responsibility for one person. There needs to be a checks and balances system. And when you have those jobs being separate, that exists. There's just too much to do and not enough time in the day. There's too many moving parts. Great leaders know how to delegate and are comfortable with other people doing their job at a high level. You don't have to get credit for everything. And sometimes I think they get into these situations because you have more power and control. So who's going to fire you when you're the one who makes all the decisions? But also, if you make all the decisions and it doesn't go well, then it also falls on you. Yeah,
John Snyder is the Seahawks GM. A couple years ago, he was up for the Lions job. And one of the reasons I was told he wanted out is because he didn't get to run everything the way he didn't have all the power. GMs want to be the GM and make all the decisions. The Jamal Adams trade. That's Pete saying we need a playmaker. You don't give up 2 firsts, a third.
Well, I don't think you should make all of the decisions. I think it should be a partnership. Like, the coach has to work with these players.
But the GM should have the final say on personnel, I think. The coach should have the final say.
If they're a good GM.
Well, John Snyder can argue, look at the organizations I've helped build.
I agree. That's what I'm saying. It should be a partnership. There should be times when you guys disagree on a player and, okay, someone gets the final say and that's that, and we'll make it work. But if you are really a well-run organization and you have the right people in place, you should be able to go at it a little bit, argue your sides, and then decide what's best for the organization and the culture here and what we actually need to build on. And when someone's making all the decisions and there's not anyone who can come in the room and say, hey, look, we saw this with the Cowboys for years. What's happening with the Cowboys now that things have been kind of spread around and we know the decision-making is a little bit more fair?
Actually, the
Cowboys are a contender now.
They're a great example. The Cowboys got 4 high-end starters in a 2-year period in the draft. That's what Seattle needs. They need a high-end pass rusher, a high-end corner, a high-end running back. They need to hit. Like, that's what solved all Dallas's issues. We used to say they pay great money to good players. They got rid of Jalen Smith, and they hit on 4 rookies in the last 2 years who are stars and don't pay anything to. That's what Seattle needs, because right now, between Russell and Bobby Wagner and Jamal Adams,
very expensive,
and they're really thin and they get gashed. They're just not deep enough at key spots like corner and pass rusher.
And they're 3-6 and currently the 14 seed in the NFC playoff picture. Now they're a game and a half behind the 7 seed Panthers for the final wild card spot. So it's not over, but they have the Cardinals this weekend, still trying to find out about Kyler Murray, Washington, the Niners, Texans, Rams, Bears, Lions, and Seahawks. And the Cardinals again. So they have a few winnable games on there despite their situation, which is being the 17th ranked, the 30th ranked offense and the 22nd scoring offense this season. So the Lakers lost their second straight game last night. They lost to the Bucks 109-102.